Hello, and welcome to this next round of Gothtober reading sprints. Halfway through the month, so we're halfway through Gothtober, and I'm joined here with three wonderful booktubers to read along with me tonight, and all of you hopefully. Shall we go around and introduce ourselves? Starting with Serena.
Hi everyone, my name is Serena and my channel is A Wandering Mind.
Hey guys, I'm Aoife and my channel is Words of Clover.
Hi, my name is Leanne and my channel is Leanne Rose, and you can also find me on Instagram at Leanne Rose Reads.
Nice. And I'm Olivia Savannah. You're on this channel. Maybe you know me. Goth Evening Friends. Thanks. I love Pixie's intros to the live show. They're always something new and exciting. Hello. Hi, Lizzie. What is everyone reading these sprints?
I was thinking about starting a new book, but I don't know if I want to start Ace of Spades or...
Oh, it's so good.
or The Last Tale of the Flower Bride. So I'm like indecisive between these two. I don't have the other one physically. So what do you guys think? Should I start this one first?
I say start that one if it has Leanne's vote.
Yeah.
It's also Black History Month here in the UK, so whenever there's a Black author, I'm like, that's the one.
Okay, great. I'm going to read this one for the sprint.
Perfect.
I have The Woman in White, so I started this a couple of days ago and I'm actually really enjoying it so far. It's quite funny and kind of creepy, so yeah, fits the theme.
I like that one a lot as well.
So I have got into a really bad habit recently of starting a bunch of books, getting like halfway through them and just not finishing them. I've done that with like a lot of books recently. So I decided the best thing to do in that circumstance was to just start another one. So I'm reading My Roommate is a Vampire, which just seems like a really strange but fun, like spoopy book. And I do think it's nice to start a new book in sprints and seeing like exactly how far you get into it in one kind of go. So
I really want to read that one. It looks really good.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean, this cover is just so cute.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm going to be reading I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast is Me by Jamison Shia, which I was also reading last sprints, and I haven't read anything since, so I think it might be my reading sprints book. But young adult horror. Lots of people reading with.
Fun.
Starting with Definite Volume 1, and then Frankenstein. I can't wait to see what you think of Death Note. Although maybe this is a reread for you, because I feel like you read the first volume and then didn't have the rest to continue with. Hi, Kristen. Start a new book, read all the books, read them both, one per sprint. Do you multi-read?
I do. I really do. I read like 3 books at a time sometimes, but I'm trying not to do that because I tend to not finish books if I do that. So I'm going to concentrate on one right now.
That's fair. Switch between Inkheart and my autumn coffee table book. And some productivity. You have one book left of Paradise Lost, so you might finish it tonight. Well done. That's a chunky classic.
Is giving me university flashbacks.
Did you read that for uni?
Yeah, they made us read Bible fan fiction. Which is basically what it is, right?
Sure, definitely. 16 Souls. Probably going to finish all my current reads in November, December, because you don't want to carry anything over. There. Roommate is a Vampire fits the Gothtober vibe. Reading Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. getting to the sequel. I was just thinking about reading that today, and then I started Dune by Frank Herbert instead, even though that's really big.
That is big. Did you see the movie?
I saw the film, and actually that's so helpful because there's a lot of like names and politics, and it's helpful. Black Edition, so volume 1 is technically 1 and 2, so that'll be new to me once I get there. Yeah, okay. So you're basically reading volumes 1 and 2 with a reread to get started and then continue in the series. I want to read the whole Bible before I commit to Bible fanfic. That's fair. That's like a really big, yeah, and a really big like prequel, basically. My next Bible fanfic picked up thanks to Jose. Gotta read Dante's Inferno. That was, I struggled with it. I didn't finish it.
Me too.
You chose Dune over Red Rising. I didn't do it to hurt you. I need to read it for my Patreon book club, so it had to be done at some point. It had to be done. Yay. I hope we both like Dune. Did you guys watch it?
I did. I did on the plane, and I fell asleep.
Yeah, I have similar feelings towards it. Like, it was okay. It wouldn't be my favorite.
That's fair. That's fair. There's so many spins happening tonight. And we're one more.
And you came to the best one.
Exactly. Okay, reading the Bible is practical for the studies. That makes sense. I don't know how we got into the Bible here. To have fortitude to read the Bible, but it would help me analyze the Locktomb series. I think a lot of books have a lot of...
I'm sorry I started this.
I think a lot of books have biblical symbolism to them as well. Always useful. Want to start The Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. Nice. Yeah, it's quite a complicated one. It feels like sci-fi Game of Thrones, really. So far, at least. I think I read like 20 pages and then I had to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we start with the first reading sprint?
Mm-hmm.
Shall I read for half an hour to like warm us up a little bit?
Sure.
Good.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll see you all at 25 past. the end of our first reading sprint. How did that go for everyone?
It went well. I read the first 30 pages, and yeah, they're introducing the school and the characters so far, so sounds interesting. We got our first message because it's like Gossip Girl, so they're getting like anonymous text, so we got our first text.
Nice. I do want to read that one soon. I really need to get on it. How did it go for you, Aoife?
Yeah, I think I got about 20 pages read, so I'm happy with that. Because these are kind of like, it's like quite a wordy like page, if you know what I mean. So getting through the pages is good. But yeah, it's kind of, it's like, it flows really well, the writing in this, and yeah, you're kind of like really into the story and some of the like actions of the different characters and kind of the mystery behind certain characters, and there's like a question mark over one particular character and if he's good or if he's bad, so it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out.
Nice. Is it your first Wilkie Collins?
Yeah. So definitely enjoying his writing style so far.
Nice. I think maybe Leanne's Wi-Fi cut out, but I read 20 pages of I Feed Her to the Beast, which is still going good. I'm still enjoying it. I'm almost a third of the way through. It's got like dark academia ballerina vibes with a bit of horror elements to it. It's kind of reminding me of, I didn't even read Tiny Pretty Things, but like maybe Tiny Pretty Things but a bit darker. So yeah, it's good. I'm curious to see where it's going to go. Let's see how it went. Managed 50 pages of Death Note, which is good. Leanne just messaged me like my Wi-Fi went, trying to fix it. 21 pages of your Dragon Smart book. Which book are you reading? I actually started reading a Katie Robert book, which was called Court of the Vampire Queen, which is essentially like Vampire Smart, to be honest. And it was the first time I've read a book like this before. I realized I mostly read steamy romance, which is on a different level. Very different level.
You never really know what you're going to get with Katie Robert book. It's like, yeah, she goes there.
Have you read some before?
Yeah, I read one that was, I can't remember the name of it, but it was kind of like two guys and a girl, and he was like, it was like a prince and a bodyguard and this other girl. And then I read one of her monster ones, the first book in her monster series. I read the first one, but I can't remember the name of it.
Is it not the Greek mythology series, or is it something different?
No, that's not the Greek mythology. She has a different one that's like monsters, and then she has a few other like older ones that are just like normal people.
Wow, she's written a lot then.
Yeah, they're not too long, her books though. Like they're not like, they're about like under, I think they're about 200-ish pages maybe. I can't remember, but I from what I remember, I don't think they're like too long.
That's really different from the one I'm currently reading, because it's almost 500 pages, the vampire one. And I was like, I don't know how this is going to sustain for 500 pages, because that's quite long. But there does seem to be like a semblance of plot there as well. It feels very Twilight for adults, mashing it up with A Court of Thorns and Roses, but it's vampires.
Yeah. Well, I can see how that would work. Like, it definitely has an audience of people looking for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we went there. I had a snack and started catching up on the footnotes for the last book I finished. It's not read the last one yet. That makes sense for classics, to keep track of the notes to help you along. Clean the stovetops. I hope you get to rest a bit more in the next sprint, or in this chatty period. It's called About a Dragon by G.A. Aiken, and it's a reread, and I'm having a good time reading it for a vlog. I'm glad you're enjoying your reread. To be honest, when it was sprints, like I am reading that vampire book and this one, and I was like, I can't read the vampire book on sprints in front of people. Like I just can't do it. Hello, Leanne.
Hi guys, sorry.
That's okay.
I
How did
was
your reading
having
spree
Wi-Fi
go?
problems. I'm gonna blame it on the storm outside.
That's fair.
It was really good. I read like I think 3 or 4 chapters. This is such a silly book, which is like what I expected, but it's really funny. It's really cool.
Okay, like a good kind of silly, like entertaining silly.
Yeah, like there's this bit right before she emails the guy asking if she can view his apartment, and she's like, oh, I scrolled past an article from like the Daily whatever about a number of thefts from the local blood bank. Lol. Like it's that kind of vibe.
Nice. I'm glad you're enjoying it. The question I wanted to ask you all, which is your favorite Gothic book, or like horror, dark academia, has mythological creatures in it? You can stretch it as much as you want. Like, what is your favorite at the moment?
I have to be like a basic bitch and go with Rebecca. I love that it has all the vibes that you want. I really like that. I keep meaning to reread it because I've only read it the once. And then I really love Dracula as well. If I'm also going to go on the basic bitch bandwagon, I feel like you can't beat Dracula. It's so good. And there's just some very dramatic moments in Dracula that are also very funny. So, yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about Renfield, which is like a film that recently came out that feels like a bit of a camp take on Dracula, which feels very fitting for the book in some ways.
Yeah. I saw some funny like stage show bits of like a camp version of Dracula on TikTok, and it looks so good. I was like, I would go and see that. Very funny.
I'd love to see Dracula on stage.
Yeah.
Love to see it. Becca is just that girl. A great choice. How about you, Serena?
Yeah, I haven't read a lot of dark academia books. I want to do more of that. This is definitely the one that I'm reading, gives those vibes. But I think like between like the thrillers that I've read, I really like The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. That one was a good one. But yeah, overall, I haven't read a lot of Gothic books. That's why I'm also participating in this readathon, so I can read more. I do want to read Mexican Gothic. It's on my TBR this month, and I'm gonna do that before the month ends. So like maybe next week. I feel like I'm gonna like that one.
Mexican Gothic is a good one. Like, it's very good. It's one of my favorites as well, I would say. But I think I need to try Ruth Ware. I've heard good things about her thrillers.
Yeah, I also read last week The Death of Mrs. Westaway. I didn't like it as much as The Turn of the Key, but it was a good one too. It definitely has Gothic vibes.
Okay, start with The Turn of the Key and then try more.
Yeah.
How about you, Leanne? What's your favorite?
So I definitely fall down more of the like spoopy than actually scary stuff. So I read like a Halloween book last year called The Other Ones, which is about like 4 teenagers solving a mystery in a haunted house, and that was great.
I've heard good things about that one. I feel like most people start it and they finish it in a day or two because it's just very cozy and cute and found family vibes. Let's see. Catherine House by Elizabeth Thomas is a Gothic book. Hannah keeps thinking about New York have a Dracula production, theatre production. It looks incredible. Oh, I'm jealous. I want it to come here. I saw things about Dracula, Comedy of Terrors on Instagram and had a good laugh about it. Even though you don't know much about Dracula. That's fair. I feel like there's a lot of Dracula lore going around. Mexican Gothic is like the perfect Gothic novel to my mind. Great place to start. Yeah, I think it's a really good, like, the really traditional, slow burning Gothic book. Have you read it, Aoife?
Which one is it? Sorry.
Mexican Gothic.
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah,
you have.
it's. I read it. Did I read it last year? The year before, I think. And yeah, it is good. It has a lot of good vibes. She has the new one that she has out as well. Looks really good. There's a couple of like pretty good, like kind of spooky ones out at the moment that I won't get to this year, but will probably show up on my TBR next year.
It's the season. It's the season
Yes.
for spooky stuff. How about films? Do you watch horror, Serena?
I do, but I feel like I don't watch a lot of like the super scary ones because I do get scared and grossed out. The other day I saw 10 with my friend and I could not keep my eyes open. But yeah, I usually watch like the older ones. Like Friday the 13th. Like I remember watching all of those like a couple years ago, but yeah, I haven't watched a lot lately. Did you guys watch The Haunting in Venice?
I haven't. I watched half of the other one, Death on the Nile. Is it the same Perot?
I'm not sure. I have not watched that one. But I
think they're all the Agatha Christie.
Yeah, I think they're inspired by Agatha Christie for sure. But I watched The Haunting in Venice the other day. It was good too. I enjoyed that one.
I'm
not into like super scary things. Like I wouldn't, like the stuff like this, like supernatural or like paranormal activity or something. I can't deal with those. Like those kind of jump scares. But I like the older ones as well. So we've watched a couple of the Halloweens the past couple of years, and then this year we've watched Friday the 13th, and then we watched Scream the other day as well, which is just like a slasher. Like it's not really scary at all. And then I like. I have a thing about like zombie stuff. I love zombie stuff, even though it does kind of scare me. But I do love like either reading zombie stuff or watching zombie shows or movies. And then I really love the guy who does like Haunting of Hill House, and he did Midnight Mass and stuff. I love those ones.
Mike Flanagan.
Yeah. So I think the new one literally just came out, so I want to try and hopefully I'll have time to watch that before Halloween. So I want to try and give that one a go. Though I've heard like it's like really kind of like, I don't know whether it's scary or just kind of out there or something, but I've heard people be kind of like shocked at bits of it. So
what, The Haunting of Hill House?
No, it's a Fall of the House of Usher.
Okay.
So it's like brand new. It's literally, I think it only came out like this weekend. But it's basically his new one from Mike Flanagan. So yeah.
I'm so excited. If I have to say a favorite TV series, I would say A Haunting of Hill House, because I just thought it was so well done and such a good. I'm not always a fan of deviations from the book, but if you are going to deviate from the book, you should deviate from the book in that way, like the way they do it.
I've heard it's like very like not at all similar to the book. It's literally just almost has the same name, and that's like it.
The same names, pretty much. That's it. And I think it captures like the themes and the vibe, but it's just not a straight up adaptation.
Yeah. I like that like Mike Flanagan kind of does kind of the same thing that like American Horror Story was doing, where like kind of uses some of the same actors and stuff. But I think, I don't know, I just don't know. I think like his stories or something are just like that little bit better than American Horror Story. Or maybe it's like American Horror Story is a little bit more, there's like more violence with that rather than straight up horror.
I haven't watched an American Horror Story.
Yeah, those ones are kind of hit and miss because like every season is different. But some of them are quite good. But my favorite one is probably Hotel. If anyone else watching on the sprints has their favorite American Horror Story season.
Is Hotel? I only know there's one good season with Lady Gaga in it. Is that?
Yeah, that's Hotel. Yeah,
it's Hotel. Okay.
And then I got as far as, I didn't get too far. I got as far as like one called Roanoke, and that one was just like really scary for me for some reason, and I couldn't watch anymore. And then I feel like once I get into like the end of the first or the second week of November, I kind of stop. I switch off from like that kind of like the gothic horror. Like my vibes aren't there anymore. I'm like, okay, I'm looking forward to like Christmas stuff now, or like more like I'm kind of like, okay, I'll wait till next year now. like leave all the stuff like half unwatched, and when I pick it back up again next year.
Like seasonal vibes.
Yeah.
Very seasonal. Hash's favorite is Asylum.
That was a good one too. That was a scary one as well.
Are you a seasonal reader, Serena? Or less so?
Not really, but I do understand. Like I do want to read more. I feel like I do want to read more thrillers now, because it is the season for that, like thrillers, horrors. I feel like I want to do that more right now, but I don't really read seasonally. I read like any time of year, but I do like the vibes that autumn gives helps.
Yeah. I always said that I don't read seasonally. And then I was looking at my reading this year, and like in August when it was warm, I read so much romance. And now I'm reading so many gothic-y horror things. And I guess at Christmas time I want to read Christmas books, so
yeah. I cannot read just one genre like in a month. I have to read different genres, so I guess that's also why I don't read seasonally, because I cannot do just one genre for a long period of time.
That's true. I like to mix it up as well. Just get different things. I heard from Leanne she's really not feeling well, so I think she's gonna dip off. But do we want to do another 45-minute reading sprint?
Yeah.
Okay. I will calculate the time that we should read for, because maths is not my strong suit to do very quickly. But I'll see you in 45 minutes. That was the end of our second sprint. I almost didn't realize because I was so caught up in my book. And I don't know where my bookmark is, which is quite typical behavior for me. How did that reading sprint go for everyone?
Good. I think I've got about 30-ish pages. I'm like almost to like the second part.
Nice.
Yeah, I read 32 pages. We are learning about relationships, and they're in their last year of high school. So we found out that something happened in the previous year. So we're gonna figure out what happened.
I managed about 30 pages of this one, and it started to get a bit darker now. Much darker now. I'm much more interested again. Now that it's taken some turns. Let's see how everyone did. Oh, hi, Jaleesa. She's reading the Gilda stories. Jill Gomez. Managed another 54 pages. I know there probably won't be 3 more sprints, but that's probably all you need to finish it. Unfortunately, there will not be 3 more sprints. There'll probably be like 1 more reading sprint, but you could probably finish that in the rest of the evening or even tomorrow if you wanted to. Hi, Connor. I chatted with a friend on Discord instead of doing anything productive, but I'm going to do some bits in the next sprint. Always good to catch up with friends. So close to finishing the main book. I bet another 45 I can finish that, including the footnotes. It's been a year coming. I'm thrilled. It's always exciting when you finish a book after like slow reading it for a year or like taking your time with it. 35 pages read this time and things are getting steamy. That makes sense. I was wondering if this break between the sprints you wanted to play Would You Rather?
Sure.
It's like a gothic version of Would You Rather, and it's just different questions. And if people wanted to play along in the chat, they can as well. Nearly finished all the chapters I need to read from 16 Souls today. That's good. I want to read that one. It looks like a lot of fun. Okay. Are you ready to play Spooky Would You Rather?
Mm-hmm.
The first question is, would you rather be haunted by a ghost or be a ghost yourself?
Be a ghost.
I'd like to be a ghost, yeah.
At least I'm not scared.
I think being a ghost in that scenario, you'd have a lot more fun. You kind of have a little bit more control.
Yeah, control, yeah.
I'd be a ghost so I could haunt somebody else. Everybody wants to be a ghost.
I feel like that's the
easy answer.
easy.
Would you rather be attacked by a flock of crows or bats?
Bats. Crows.
Why not?
I feel like crows are like malicious. Like there's just something about crows like that are just a little bit creepy.
Also they have a beak, so
yeah. Bats feel like they're kind of harmless. Like if they're kind of, if they get caught and like they're around you, it kind of feels like it's a mistake. Where crows, I feel like, are more intentional.
Yeah,
that's fair. I would also choose bats just so I could have my Batman moment. Just feel like a superhero. Bird beaks are scary. Same logic. Yeah, beaks. No. Hannah is the only one who's saying crows because they would hurt more, but they have fewer diseases. I did not know this. Ooh. That's good. Fair. Okay, next question. Would you rather spend an entire night in a coffin underground or spend a night in a haunted hotel?
Haunted hotel,
yeah. Being somewhere like that you can't get out of, like absolutely not.
That's one of my fears, like getting burned alive. Claustrophobia, no.
Yeah, it's a no for me on the claustrophobia. The next one is actually based on what we were talking about before. Would you rather live in the house from the haunting of Hill House or American Horror Story Murder House? Maybe you're the only one who can accurately answer this, Aoife.
I'm gonna go for The Haunting of Hill House. Because I feel like there's some elements of like in the hotel that are just like, it's quite scary. Like, and it's quite like where I feel like what happens in Hill House is scary, but I feel like I trust those ghosts more than I would the ones in hotel.
That's fair. That's fair. Seconding that, also putting The Haunting of Hill House. Hannah's choosing all the opposite answers. American Murder House, as long as I know the rules. The book or the show Hill House? I think we're going to go for the show Hill House. But if you've only read the book, go for the book. American Horror Story because I want to meet some characters. Valid. Agreeing with you that the ghosts are so evil. Some of the ghosts are smexy, even though death may happen. Maybe it's worth dying over. The next one is, would you rather get a surprise visit from Frankenstein's monster or a surprise visit from the Headless Horseman?
I haven't read Frankenstein, but from what I know of Frankenstein's monster, he like is more of a victim than a like an antagonist. So I'm gonna go with Frankenstein's monster because I feel like, you know what I mean, the Headless Horseman like is more evil. So
I don't actually know that story. Is the Headless Horseman like the monster in it, like the villain in it?
I think I saw him in the Sleepy Hollow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like he goes around chopping people's heads off. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I'd go with Frankenstein's monster.
Frankenstein monster. I agree with this. He's just misunderstood. Headless Horseman. He's not obsessed with getting a wife. He just wants his head. That's fair. Frankenstein's monster. I could fix him. I can see the hero complex starting to grow. Headless Horseman. I feel like at least then I can meet the horse. And I've read some interesting reimaginings where he's just confused and trying to get people to understand who he is. I find it interesting when it's like, there's the monster, and then the reimaginings are just like, yeah, they're just the victim. They're not as evil as you think. Frankenstein's monster, maybe we could trauma bond and such. Yeah. Headless Horseman also never killed a 9-year-old. Frankie's monster, however. Really? Did I just forget that part of the book?
Yeah, I remember.
I can't remember. Would you rather fight Dracula, Frankenstein, or the Wolfman?
I
wouldn't
Dracula,
fight
I think.
Like I don't know who the Wolfman is, but I feel like he would be dangerous.
I mean, I'm definitely the sort when like I'm reading books about people who are like being pursued by some like maniac, or like you're watching a show, I'm like, I think I just lie down and just let them kill me. Like I'm just like, I'm not ready for all this effort of running through the woods. I'm like, no, just go to bed and just lie there and be like, if you want to kill me, you can just do it. Like I'm not with this effort.
Yeah, it's like with the Saw movies. You know, do you know the plot of that? Like I would not try to save my life. Like I'm not cutting my leg off. I'm not cutting my foot off.
No, absolutely.
I'll die.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll just die. Like it's fine.
That's fair. I think I'm gonna fight Dracula so that I don't die, but hopefully he bites me in the process and I become a vampire.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I just need to become a vampire. Dracula so I could meet his wives and Van Helsing made him sexy. Good old Frank fight. Me and Connor have the exact same minds. You're thinking of bears. I hear so much contradicting stuff of what you should do if it's a bear. Like, if it's this type of bear, you should run towards them. If it's this type of bear, you need to lie down. This one, you stay still.
I think it's just avoid bears.
Yeah, just don't go near them. If you're going to be watching a scary film, would you rather watch a scary film with a scary movie buff who knows everything, or someone who's just as scared as you are?
Someone who's just as scared, because I think you have more fun that way. Because if you're with someone who's like a movie buff, they might be like, oh, well, this is how they did that, or this isn't that scary, or this isn't as scary as this movie. Where if you're both scared together, you're kind of playing off each other, and you can have a lot more fun.
Also, you don't have anything to talk about afterwards because you probably haven't had your eyes closed the whole time. So
Yeah, some people are like, I'm the horror movie buff. I think that might be me as well. So I like watching it with people who are more scared than me, because I don't get scared easily. But then I just love seeing them like jump or like react.
yeah, I think I'm the scared one if I'm watching with someone else, and I like watching a horror movie with someone who is more of an expert, so they can explain it to me, so I know when not to watch.
So that makes sense. That makes sense. So it can be my lighthouse when I'm panicking. No movie buff slander. I can't help that I'm full of random facts. Hannah is definitely the type of person who will talk through the film. I also love to watch with people that are scared of disgusting. It's more fun for you that way. That's fair. Would you rather be eaten alive by rats or by fish?
Fish? Because at least then, I guess you're like in the water, so by the time fish are finished eating you alive, you'll drown.
That's so grim. But true. But very grim.
I feel like fish don't have teeth, right? Do they have teeth? Depends.
Like a piranhas.
Yeah.
Rats are just, I think it's like, Joe, that there's like those scenes in Game of Thrones with the rats in the bucket and stuff like that. Oh, no.
I think I'll have to go. I don't know, I like fish. I don't want them to eat me. But rats would be kind of terrifying. I'd rather be dead. True.
Yeah, I eat fish, so I don't eat rats, so I guess that's their revenge.
I draw the line. Can I just not be dead? Yeah, I guess maybe fish, so that they can eat me. Nobody wants to answer this question. Hannah admits that I love asking questions, so a movie buff with the willpower to withhold until appropriate share has got to be the one. That's true. I just like talking while I'm watching a film. Like, I love it when it's a social event. And if someone's watched it ahead of me, I will ask them questions.
Yeah, I have a habit of doing that, and it drives my fiance mad. He's like, will you just shut up and watch the movie? And especially if we're watching a movie that he hasn't watched before, and I'm like, why are they doing that? Like, what's going to happen? Who are they? He's like, I don't know. Like, I haven't watched this before either.
Good answers. Classic question. Would you rather be a werewolf or a vampire?
Vampire. Well, it depends. Like, I'd be a vampire if it's like the Vampire Diaries vampire. And then with werewolf, like, I feel like werewolves always have a bit of like a harder stick. Like, I feel like vampires feels more fun, where werewolves you're very much controlled by like the moon, and then it seems more painful. Where vampires are a little bit more cool and hot.
That's true. Also, if I threw zombies into the mix, would it change your answer?
Well, I wouldn't want to be a zombie.
You wouldn't want to be a zombie.
Unless it's like from iZombie. That's not too bad. But yeah, I think I'd still prefer to be a vampire. Something about vampires, I think it's like the strength and the speed, that it's just really cool.
Yeah, it's a vampire too.
What, do you have a certain type of vampire you'd be? Serena, like from a certain film or book or franchise?
Twilight, obviously, and also Vampire Diaries. I like both of them.
I would also be a vampire, and it would probably be a Cullen vampire. It's just the way it has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Vamp me up. Guys, we're all going to be vampires here. But Pixie's going to be a werewolf. Whatever I can be without eating meat or drinking blood. That's a tricky one. Refusing to live forever is a good.
See, you could just like live for however long you want to, and then you could be like, oh, I'm done.
That's fair. Werewolf. You never. Oh, that's true. I love the sun. I love being outside in the sun. But
if you're a Vampire Diaries vampire, you just have to find a witch to make you a magic ring or necklace or whatever.
And if I'm a Cullen, I'll just sparkle.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're either a Cullen or the vampire type, then you're fine.
Yeah, you don't burst into flame.
Yeah.
Underworld. Twilight is the worst vampire story ever. Those are fighting words.
It's the worst, but also the best. It's good because it's so bad.
Yeah, I agree.
That's true. I want to be a hybrid, like Faith from Legacies. Werewolf, vampire, and a witch. What a combination. I haven't read Nosferatu.
No, me neither.
But it sounds like it could be good. Let's see, what's the next one? Some of these are really dependent on you having seen something, so I'm going to try and skip over them. Would you rather move into the house from the film Paranormal Activity or the film Insidious?
I haven't seen either of them, so I don't know which one's scarier. Like, I'll live outside.
I think I watched Insidious, but I don't even remember it. So I don't know how to answer that. Also,
some of these questions are really random. Like, would you rather give birth to an elephant or to a dog? What type of question is this?
That's supposed to be like a gothic horror question. Like, would you rather? This is disturbing.
This is very disturbing. A more normal one. Would you rather let a tarantula crawl up your arm or have a snake wrap around your neck?
Tarantula.
I think I'd go for tarantula, yeah. There's something about snakes that just... Do you know, has anyone ever watched Annie 2? The second Annie movie. There's a thing in that, I think it's from when I was younger. There's a bit in that where there's like this kind of like dungeon underneath this castle, and there's a pit and it's full of snakes. And ever since that, I don't have a fear of snakes, but I just have a deep dislike of them. I kind of like will avoid snakes. Be like, I'm not really into them at all. And I think it goes down to that movie. And then all the like, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here snake challenges where they had snakes all over them. Absolutely not.
I don't mind a nice snake, you know. I think they're quite.
And also, I live in Ireland. We don't do snakes here.
Also, wrapped around your neck. That's.
I don't mind them like on me. I guess if one was wrapped around my neck too tight, I'd be a bit stressed. But there's no way a tarantula could be on me. Like, no. Snakes don't make sense. They have no legs. They should not be able to move so fast. See, at least with a snake, they have no legs like spiders. They have like 6.
Yeah, if the snake wasn't around my neck, I'd say snake then.
Snake reputation. Oh, I do not know how you think they're cute and fluffy. I'm just stressed.
I think spiders have more potential to be cute than snakes.
Do they?
I think so. I think you can do up the fluffy big eyes cuteness rather than like a creepy snake.
I'm trying to stay open-minded.
Olivia, you've been to Australia, right?
Yes.
Did you see any big spiders?
Too many. For someone who has arachnophobia. The worst, there was I think it was a black widow spider, and the interesting one about that was that it just, as soon as it knew that we knew it was there, it played dead. So even when the person who had gloves to picked it up and like took it away, it didn't move. It was just like happy to be relocated. But my worst story was, there was this spider and I trapped it in a container, and what I would do is trap things in a container and then in the morning like ask someone else to take it away, because I could never bring myself to do that part. But overnight it had its kids. So then in the container there was just like 26 baby spiders and the mom. And I was like, imagine if it wasn't in a container and that was just in my room. It would have been awful.
Oh my god.
But that, you know, I'm fine. I'm not there anymore.
It's like an alternative ending to Charlotte's Web.
Exactly. Exactly. No spiders, no snakes. The question is if you were in a city or not. Because when I was in Melbourne, I didn't see like any big spiders or creatures. But then when I went and stayed in the countryside for the countryside for a bit, there were a lot more. I know, it's a real horror film, isn't it? Okay. Would you rather be the first or the last who turns into a zombie in a zombie apocalypse?
The first.
Yeah.
Because you have more people to feast on.
Yeah. And if honestly, if the end of the world happened, I'd want to be one of the first people to go.
I would also like to be the first. Like, it'd be sad to survive for so long and then
yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah. Like, I don't even run for the bus. I'm not running from a zombie.
Yeah, I don't want.
Hannah says last because that counts as winning. Which is fair. I don't think I'd have a choice. I'd be caught so quickly, like as you said, not running anywhere.
Yeah, I don't want.
Okay, I think our last question before we hop into our last sprint, which is, would you rather be possessed by a demon or find out that all your family members are possessed by demons, but you're not?
That's a hard one.
Mhm.
Because if you're possessed by a demon, there's the chance that you'd hurt someone that you like, that you love. So it's kind of like potentially hurting someone you love or seeing someone you love hurting.
I don't know. What do you think, Olivia?
I'm thinking I'd rather... I want them all to be possessed by demons because I have in my head that then I can help them.
Yeah, then you could try and like do an exorcism or whatever that you need, and like
I could try.
Yeah, I read The Exorcist last year, and that was a trip.
Was it good?
Like, it's hard to say yes because there's some parts of it that are so disturbing. And then like I watched a little bit of like the movie or some clips of the movie, and the movie freaked me out a little bit more, I think, than the book did, because, but I don't know. Yeah, it's like, it's one that I would be hesitant to recommend to people because some of the themes in it are just like, because it's like happening to a little girl and some of the stuff she does is very like,
yeah,
you know, it's quite disturbing.
I watched the film and I didn't know how to think about it until I thought about it for a very long time, and then I was like, in hindsight, I like it as a horror film, but it took me a while to figure out how I felt about it.
Yeah, it was a little bit like the same with the book. I think it was like a 3 out of 5 stars for me. I'm like, I appreciate like what it did for like the genre, but I don't know if I enjoyed it.
That's true. Did you have an answer, Serena, of which one you'd prefer?
I think I would like to try and help someone else.
Try and help them.
Yeah.
Hannah raises the point that we are assuming the demon wants to hurt people. It could just nibble on your soul and give you powers. It's just possible. There are good demons, I guess. I think my family would be better at exorcisms than me. That's true. Could be. Or you could exercise the demon by knowing it. And you've completed your Gothtober prompts. You read What Moves the Dead, and you're going to read the fourth, The House of Usher, by Edgar Allan Poe, which is perfect for watching it afterwards. Okay, that was our Would You Rather game. I think we're gonna read for. Should we read until 9:30 and then like come back and then finish off after that?
Cool.
That sounds good. Last reading sprint. And that's the end of our last reading sprint. I read to the halfway mark of this, so definitely made a lot of progress today. I am still really liking it. I do think it's moving a bit slowly, but otherwise it's pretty good. Definitely serving all the dark academia. How did it go for you both?
I read another 40 pages and I'm 100 pages through. It's going well.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm like 220 pages in now, so I'm really into it now. Really enjoying it.
I love that we're all on the first half of our books, just getting into the story. I guess 220 pages of a classic though is quite far in. But yeah, I think that's it for our reading sprints. Thanks for everyone who joined today. Thank you to both of you for coming over as well.
Thank you.
No problem.
Just gonna see how people went. You finished Paradise Lost.
Yay.
Woo-hoo. I hope it was good overall. I'll be curious to hear your final thoughts in a vlog. Do either of you have anything you want to mention before you sign off?
No.
No. If you're not subscribed, go subscribe. But yeah, I don't think I have anything really exciting coming up. But yeah.
No, me neither. Thank you, Olivia, for the reading sprint.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Thanks for joining. I'm just going to quickly mention for people who are tuning into the next Gothtober live show, that's on Saturday, and it's going to be on Tish's channel, and it's going to be the Kiss, Marry, Kill game, which is always a lot of fun. And it'll be a Creature Feature edition. But with that, we're going to end the sprints. Thank you to everyone who joined. Have a good night.